This is going to blow your mind. I'm going to read. This is
hit me.
Chapter 1 principles.
This is bonus materials. Go hog wild, bro.
I'm spending money like I just got paid. $100 bills, tell them keep the change. Come on.
Wow, that is profound.
Here's the thing. It really does soothe the heart.
Pop a bottle, about to make it rain. Let me give you something now to celebrate. Come on.
I'd be surprised if a couple 70s have read A Course in Miracles. And
if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good.
So, did the lady ever get a following? You know, did she ever?
No, she wasn't doing like, from my knowledge, she wasn't doing classes on it. She wasn't doing book tours, anything like that. She literally didn't.
Did she just live in anonymity until she died?
She hated A Course in Miracles.
Really?
She hated it. She said it ruined her life.
Really?
She said because like it ruined her life because it was putting forward all these ideas. And people would come up to her and be like, tell me about this. She's like, I don't know. I haven't even read it. Like, she literally didn't even, like, engage with it. She didn't really know the implications of what it was teaching, but suddenly she's become a vehicle for all this spiritual wisdom. And it's wisdom she had no clue about because she didn't, like, you know. So she hated it because she felt like it ruined her life because, like, she just wanted to be an academic, do her thing. And suddenly now people are like, wow, you brought this amazing gift. She's like, no. It wasn't me. It was someone speaking to me. I really did not want to be the vessel. And a reluctant vessel for spiritual truth is that's almost like a sitcom.
Yeah, that's crazy. So she didn't make any money off of it. It ended up in the public domain.
Yeah, it's in public domain right now.
Wow.
So a lot of people who want to teach A Course in Miracles, what they'll do is
they'll make their own version of it, and
they'll just publish it because you don't want to have to pay dues or like pay a different organization. People will just publish it and be like, here's what I think.
So are you going to make your own copy? We're going to do a ward radio, little not seance, but like a little.
I think it'd be cool to do like a version of it, like where I kind of like juxtapose it with things of restored gospel. But also, I mean, it's like you have to be down to read it. That's the thing.
What is it, like Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand?
It's a lot. I mean, because it's not a scripture. It's a manual. It's like it's a course. It's literally like I'm about to go to class, so I got to get this book before class, right? And it's like Jesus is a professor in the book, and so
okay.
But it's really cool stuff, and it's basically some people call it like the New Age Bible,
okay,
because it's so popular, and that's another thing about being public domain. That's what's kind of cool about it. Where, it's really everyone has access to it for free.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can, for $1, you get a Gideon Bible. You know, it's so cheap that it might as well be free.
Right.
So, wow. Okay, sweet. This is sick, man. So have you read the whole thing or are you just halfway through? What's going on?
I'm doing like okay, here's the other thing. You don't read it like you do the Bible. It's not like you're supposed to skip around. You're supposed to like read it.
So you can do like Tuesday's class. It's like Come Follow Me. You can do one.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I've gotten through really all the chapters are kind of like relevant, but it doesn't follow like a timeline.
Okay. Got a question for you.
Yeah.
Have any, for example, when I was at BYU, it was really interesting seeing, for example, Thomas S. Monson. And his quotes on Les Miserables when I was studying literature. It was interesting how he said there's been no better example in Western literature of the atoning power of Jesus Christ and of the unconditional love of Christ than when that priest forgave the thief who had stolen and said, oh, you forgot the candlesticks too. He said like that was one of the biggest and best examples of the unconditional love of Jesus Christ and love for even sinners that he'd ever read. It's like, oh, wow. So Thomas S. Monson has experienced, read and seen Les Miserables. He's digested it. He's given this religious commentary. And then like Dallin H. Oakes had famously said apparently that everybody should read the standard works, should read I can't remember, it was like A Christmas Carol and Don Quixote or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but he said that it was like one of his 3 famous books, and then he actually had not 3 most famous books but favorite books, and had given specific reasons why he thought that it was impactful spiritually, so on and so forth.
Right.
Has there ever been any major church authorities or movements or figures both in the culture or the official organization of the church that has come out in support of A Course of Miracles? Or is this just kind of an underground thing?
A lot of people. Marianne Williamson, she's running for president right now.
So just in the culture at large.
Yes, okay, a lot of people. And also, there's a lot of quotes from A Course in Miracles that you've read, but you don't realize it's from A Course in Miracles.
Anybody in our church specifically?
I'm not familiar.
Are you going to be a trendsetter? Are you going to be the one that brings, brings A Course of Miracles to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? Are you like Moses descending from Mount Sinai?
Maybe.
But instead you got the blue hardcover from the public domain instead of.
Here's what actually I will say. We don't need another come follow me teacher. We don't need another come follow me YouTube. But I will say among Generation Z and upcoming Generation Alpha, people are very spiritually lost. And one downside of a church being built upon levels of authority is that it's very easy to go your whole life in the LDS church and feel very religious but not very spiritual. There's a lot of people who don't feel like they have a connection.
It was strangely, my mother was that way. She was a lovely and a wonderfully spiritual person and stuff, but she always. And by the way, I don't think this was the church culture imposed upon her. It's something in our weak minds that God gave us. But so much she'd say, "Oh, I'm just a convert. I don't know all these things. You served a mission." And finally, by the time I was in my 20s, I was like, "Mom, you've been a member of the church longer than I have." You know what I'm saying? You can't, like, maybe your first year or two that might have been true, but Mom, you're in your 50s. Okay, yeah, you've literally been to more religious education than I have. You're not lesser, all right? It's a direction, Mom. Right, it's not a hierarchy, okay? You know? So I can see that. It's kind of sad. And sometimes I think that's more from our Protestant and Puritan background as a culture in North America.
Yeah, it's Abrahamic Americanism.
That's a much more ostentatious way of putting it and academic way of putting it. But yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so I mean, maybe I'll do some comparative cool stuff with the court. But here's the thing: it really does soothe the heart.
Oh, that's good
a lot of
that's good to hear.
Both religious and non-religious counselors will actually recommend A Course in Miracles, regardless of their belief about Jesus, because
I got to read this.
It really. Here's something. Okay. This is gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna read. This is
hit me.
Chapter 1, principles.
This is bonus materials. Go hog wild, bro.
All miracles attest to truth. They are convincing because they arise from conviction. Without conviction, they deteriorate into magic, which is mindless and therefore destructive, or rather, the uncreative use of the mind.
Wow, that is profound. And just a secular Jewish psychologist lady just wrote this down, inspired by voices.
A different guy wrote it down. Oliver Cowdery is writing it down. Typing it out.
That is some deep stuff. And
everything in it is deep.
And she didn't become a guru somewhere?
No, she wanted nothing to do with it.
That is crazy.
I know. It's got so many it soothes the heart. Let's see. I probably have a couple more. Oh, here we go. Each day should be devoted to miracles. Time was made so you could use it creatively and convince yourself of your own ability to create. Time is a teaching device and a means to an end. It will cease when it is no longer useful in facilitating learning. This earth life is a test?
Jeez Louise, man. You got any more?
This one. When I first read this one, I was like, "Oh, I know that's Jesus right there." This I can feel the Savior, but sitting at front of the class with the chalkboard behind him. Right?
Wow.
Notes on this course.
I don't want you turning Jesus into some liberal Berkeley professor. All right?
No. Okay. He said this: notes on this course should be read only under good learning conditions. You know how we always say pray before you read the scriptures,
or give yourself time and wow, this is interesting.
They should also be reviewed with the same rule applying to review periods. I'll tell you when, but remember to ask.
Wow.
He's calling for prayer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just wow.
Call upon me. I'll tell you what to do. Just remember to ask.
It's kind of like if Jesus were a liberal at UC Berkeley.
Yeah.
I don't want him in Birkenstocks. That's where I draw the line. I don't want him in Birkenstocks. I can handle tight pants and leather sandals, just not Birkenstocks,
But I mean, when you're reading, you're like, whoa, everything is super profound. But again, it's a lot of restored gospel principles. Like it jives so well. The Earth life is a test.
Hey,
Yeah,
so
time is for creative use to understand, and when it's no longer important to you, you don't need it anymore.
Okay, you know what we should
God's
do?
outside of space and time. It's like, whoa!
You know what we should do is we should do a live stream in which you bring up the top 10 comparisons between the LDS Church, like between Joseph Smith or the Book of Mormon and Course of Miracles. What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, I'd be down. I mean, I legitimately have thought about like doing a the problem is I work with events. I'm super busy all the time, but I would love to do a cool study group for it because it really does soothe the heart. And for people that may be members of the church or inactive because of whatever like structure or hierarchy or something jerky someone said, this doesn't replace it. But what it does is
it's just like there's gateway drugs out of the church. There's gateway drugs back into it.
Yeah. And it says like, look, you can at least keep your relationship with God fostering right now, but in a way that's not dogmatic, a way that's not saying this, or this. It's saying, look, these are lessons you will have to learn eventually.
Look, as long as it just doesn't lead to voting Democrat, I am all for it.
Well, Marianne Williamson is running for the Democratic nomination for the presidency. But again, a lot of people have. I'd be surprised if a couple 70s have read A Course in Miracles and it's helped them. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, there's almost nobody in church media doing any kind of comparative stuff with this, but they should. I mean, it is really similar.
Well, if all of it sounds as good as those two sound bites you gave me before,
oh, there's going to be some knucklehead in the comments who goes, well, look at this quote here. This contradict. Yeah, I know.
Or whatever. Yeah, but those people are never satisfied. So
No.
Anyway, awesome. Well, this is great. Please let us know what you guys think about A Course of Miracles below. I'm going to check it out myself. I think this is awesome. If there's any comparisons you think we might have missed, please let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. This is real. This was fun, and it was real fun for this and more. Please check us out at Ward Radio.
I just feel so good.